Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cleveland Sports Bros podcast. I'm Matt alongside my brother Nick. Nick, how are you doing today?
Excited. It's playoff baseball. Cleveland Guardians in the ALDS.
Yep, I'm excited. Well, it definitely took a sting out of the Browns' horrible loss on Sunday. We're not even going to talk about the Browns today because we want to focus on the positives with the Guardians and the big upcoming series, like you said, in the ALDS against the New York Yankees. So first, Nick, we'll recap the last series, and if you, and then we'll talk about this upcoming series against the Yankees. So Nick, do you want to give us an update on what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing how coming into this wildcard series against the Tampa Bay Rays, very similar teams who rely mostly on contact to put runs together. And even before game one had happened, many reporters were saying, oh, no one's gonna get a home run to make a big difference. And all four runs combined or via the home run ball. Siri, I don't remember his first name on the Rays.
Jose Siri.
Jose Siri on the Rays gave Tampa Bay a 1-0 lead off of Shane Bieber in the top of the sixth inning, game one, and then the very bottom half of the inning, Jose Ramirez, after an RBI single, followed up a series home run with a 2-run blast, and the Guardians hung on from there. Just tremendous pitching. And then with a chance to sweep the Rays in game two, not only did they accomplish that, but they really shut them down. It went into extra innings, 15 long scoreless innings, but again, the home run ball saved the day for the Guardians. Oscar Gonzalez coming through off of former Indian and Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. It's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, it was that you hate to see it happening as Kluber, but we'll take it anyway. Yeah, just if you like pitching, great baseball, and I would still say great baseball regardless because it was a fun series. You got the 2-game sweep. Really dramatic moments. Like I think it was in the 12th inning, Jose's they probably saved the game and maybe the series with his falling out, out of the third base line backwards, throwing to first to get the out, and Naylor having a great stretch in a pivotal moment that would have scored a run if they didn't get it. And Tampa reviewed the call, but there was not enough evidence to overturn it. So an amazing play. And, Jose's home run as well. He was my MVP for the series. Just hopefully we can get him to, and the whole team to have better at bats in the upcoming series against the Yankees. So great win, great to move on, and ended the 8-game losing streak in the playoffs for the Indians and now Guardians. So that was awesome to see. So looking forward to the next matchup against the Yankees in the ALDS. Nick, do you want to preview that for us?
Yeah, so moving on now to the divisional round, it goes from a best of 3 to now a best of 5 series. Starting for the Yankees tonight, Garrett Cole will take to the mound. He finished the year with a 3.50 ERA, a 13-8 record. And for the Guardians side, Cal Quantrill will pitch. He finished with a season ERA 3.38 and a record of 15-5. Many Yankee fans are not satisfied with the decision made by former player and now Yankee manager Aaron Boone, former Indian player, Yankee manager Boone, going with Cole because he can give up the home run ball. I don't think they should worry too much about that, but the Guardians have other ways to attack you. We saw, yes, in 2 games, they hit the home run ball and took that to their advantage, but they scored a combined 3 runs. And they're gonna need to do better than that if they're gonna take 3 games against Yankees. And if they win one of these 2 games, they will have 2 games played in Cleveland. So, but they gotta take care of business tonight.
Yeah, and just so not many people are giving the Guardians much of a chance. If you look at ESPN, I think they have a 67% chance that the Yankees win the series. So not impossible by any stretch, but I just want to kind of provide a comparison of the teams. We know the Guards were 92-70 on the season. The Yankees were 99-63. So only a little bit better of a record. Yes, we know probably a tougher division. But we showed that we can hang with their division and beat teams in their division, as evidenced by us beating the Rays. The Guardians team ERA was 3.46, the Yankees 3.3. From a pitching standpoint as well, we gave up slightly fewer walks and had very similar whips. And from an offensive standpoint, the Guardians have more hits, more doubles. They had 31 triples on the year, and New York only had 8. Now, the glaring difference would be New York having 254 home runs to the Guardians 127, 62 of which for New York came from Aaron Judge. So, nearly half. He had nearly half the home run production than the entire Guardians team. So, obviously that's a big difference, but everything else is pretty similar between the two teams. And I got to give the managing edge, as we talked, on all our other episodes, to Terry Francona. And I think this team isn't afraid of the Yankees, and fans shouldn't be either. Now, I still think that Yankees will probably win the series just because they are more talented and more experienced, but I don't want to count out the Guardians. And I really think they have a good shot. And like you said, if they can get out tonight on Cole, the pressure is all going to be on New York. And I think it already is all in New York. And you'll see them kind of second guessing things. I don't think the Yankees fans or even the players respect the Guardians whatsoever. So we can come in and still win tonight. I think that'd be great.
Definitely. And another thing about the Guardians, where I believe they have the advantage, you mentioned Tito Francona as manager. He's certainly more experienced than Boone. He's been doing it for many years, as we know, in Boston, and this is his 10th year with the Guardians. And I believe the Guardians have a deeper bullpen, and we saw that on display in Game 2 against the Rays. Not only did they pitch a shutout, but they actually have a closer. And what I mean by that is, some of you may not be aware that Aroldis Chapman won't be on the ALDS roster for the Yankees. So I believe in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and even deeper innings, need be, the Guardians have the edge. They have Karinchak, they have Freeman and Henches, and of course the closer,
Clase.
Emmanuel Clase, who
Yeah.
put up 42 saves this year. He was incredible. So I think if you get into the late innings with the lead, it could go in the Guardians' favor.
Yeah, and I think not just bullpen, definitely the bullpen, but I think the Guardians probably have the edge in pitching overall. My belief is that Bieber and McKenzie are better than Garrett Cole and Nestor Cortez, and also better than Luis Severino. And Cal Quantrill can hang with those guys as well, especially as we know, undefeated at home. So if we can, he'll likely be the starter on Saturday, Sunday. He'll be the starter on Sunday if there's a Game 4. So if he can keep that undefeated streak alive, start with the game tonight and then keep that alive, I think the Guardians will have real good chances. So I like our pitching matchup, and I think the Rays pitching, at least recently, has been better than the Yankees pitching. So that was a real tough series to go up against. And I think the bats will definitely come alive. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I think we'll see more run production than what we saw against the Rays. And I'm really looking forward, because if the Guardians can get, string some hits together, they're going to be really dangerous.
And one final point, you just mentioned the Guardians bats and how the Rays were having a good time for a while, a good stretch for a while, shutting them down. A lot of people were saying that was because both sides were playing in the shadows, and still to this point, Stephen Kwan doesn't have a hit. But now that they're playing primetime under the lights, I think that'll play to the Guardians' advantage. Yes, they don't have the type of power like Aaron Judge and his teammates, but not only getting clutch hits, but taking the extra base if a ball gets away from the catcher. We've seen them do that all year. And I think if they get those chances, that'll really put the Yankee pitchers and defense on their toes.
Yep, 100% agree. So definitely going to be a tough series, but I think the Guardians have a real shot. As we mentioned, we laid out all the stats. The only real place where the Yankees are better are home runs. Yes, home runs are important, especially in the postseason. But so is the way the Guardians play and win, and so is managing. And like I said, I think the pressure, if we can get the pressure on the Yankees early, that'll work to our favor as well. So really looking forward to the series, and let's go out and get a win tonight. And we'll definitely provide a recap of the series later. So, Nick, anything else to add?
Nope, looking forward to game one. Go Guards.
Go Guards. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. You have been listening to the Cleveland Sports Bros podcast.